That's the artwork,
art.
and it beautiful. I don't know. It just shows what some people can think of and do.
That's a buttress from an old bridge. It looks like.
Right, and we on the big black
there's the
river.
new bridge.
And there's the new bridge for the train.
The buttresses and the arches. Boy,
oh no, they did some work on that, and Bobby and Vicky. And with the bridge in the back.
And who you got there? Is that Babs?
No,
that's the lady with the tour.
That's our lady. That's Miss Laura Beiser. B-E-I-S-E-R. Beiser.
Look how y'all look good.
How about that? And we went to,
when
you go to Mississippi, if you go to Port Gibson, you go to the big feed store. Well, we in Vicksburg, Jim needed some feed, and where did we go? Went to and I had to try on one of their fancy
you didn't buy
hats.
It, did you?
No, I didn't buy
it.
it.
I think that's a good move.
Good move. And then, of course, all I talked about was the beaten horn.
Candy company.
Well, yeah, but really, he was a pharmacist, and he is the gentleman that invented the bottling of Coca-Cola as we know it today.
No kidding. That's true on Vicksburg.
Formulated the carbonation process, and he was buying so much syrup that they sent somebody to investigate.
What he's up to, right.
And he, of course, was given the rights to Mississippi and a large section of the eastern portion of Louisiana.
Coke probably sold for a nickel. In those days, he had all his nickels, huh?
Oh, he had his nickels. And very interesting, by the way. And I've been telling that story. And we are in this national park. And there's our tour guide. She has the proper hat for the sunshine.
And for Derby Day, you got to have your hat.
Thank you, Miss Laura. You did a beautiful job. And of course, I'll show Big Mike.
We got an Ironside Confederate ship that they brought up?
The Cairo.
The Cairo.
And it's beautiful. They brought up enough of it to really make a
Welcome
beautiful.
back, KSLO.
And
a museum and all?
Museum underneath is a museum.
Excellent.
The USS Cairo.
Excellent.
And this is parts of every state that participated in the Civil War has a statue of some kind.
Memorial.
And this is Illinois.
Beautiful.
Illinois had the most statues out there.
Look how nice inside.
Beautiful. Now, what do you call this at the top?
Oh, you got a hole in the top. That would be an oculus.
An oculus. How you can keep up with all of that, Andrew? That little mind of yours.
That's what it is.
That little calculator must have more storage space than mine.
It means eye. You know, an eye is,
you're right.
Eye, to use that word, oculus, it's an eyeball in the dome, and that was very common in Roman architecture. You see, I know a little bit.
Draws. Look, that's young people.
All the people
right
touring.
Here.
Well,
touring.
That's good. That's
beautiful.
What you want.
That's what you want.
I need to bring my little kids over there because I've never brought them before. Sorry about that, Mark.
And that's the Louisiana statue from a long distance.
Yeah.
But you can still see it.
One of my ancestors was captured at Vicksburg in the big battle.
You said that. Yep. Beautiful, beautiful.
And there you are at the party?
At the party. And this is Miss Hallie Gale. Miss Hallie Gale, and her husband is Noel. And
she's a jockey?
Well, she's a jockey that day. Beautiful lady. Oh, she's a character. She and her husband were both prosecutors for the government there.
Wow.
The district attorney's office, and both have retired from that and have their own small practice just to keep in touch with everybody. I wouldn't want her prosecuting me.
She's tough?
I think I'd take Noel before I'd take her. She can handle herself.
There you go. And there's a little wine y'all opening.
We enjoyed.
Up.
Yep.
Oh, there's the supermoon. You took a picture of the supermoon?
We all went outside. I took that picture. Sorry, it's not better, but
it's hard to shoot the moon.
On a little cell phone, it's kind of tough.
Then y'all went to church? Boy, y'all were good people.
Yep, we went to church and
David Link, Jim Lopez, Miss Babs on the left.
And Father Curley is the priest, and Vicky, and then Miss Joy Brabston. And her husband, I don't have a picture of,
but the priest?
That's a good, you talk about Curley, that's Irish. I think he's Irish. I think he's Irish. A lot of Irish priests, Catholic priests.
Sure. And then there's Babs
That's
and Jim.
when
on
we
the
were leaving.
staircase.
That was the last picture I guess I took of the beautiful weekend. Thanks,
Beautiful
Jim,
place.
Babs, and all of the.
Look at the sculptures and the castings.
And then that's the bull and the bear.
And the bear for the stock market. I hadn't thought about it. See, there you go.
The ancestor that built this place worked for the cotton
Exchange.
cotton exchange,
Yeah.
because Vicksburg was a big market of the cotton exchange.
Well, sure. And then there's some more statues
Some more
from
statues.
the park. There's Jefferson Davis.
Yep.
There's little Bayou Pierre.
We went slow so I could take that. Pierre Mistro, good morning to you, Pierre.
And one more jockey. You'll have jockeys at
One
the
more
park.
jockey. Now, the gentleman
On the left.
I want to talk real briefly. That's Mike and Laura. Laura's husband is Mike. We called him Big Mike because he's a big gentleman. And he had a program to do the pari-mutuel betting. You talk about made the whole party. We each could bet no more than 3 bets, and you could bet, kind of up. I know David Link bet 10 across. And he collected about $175.
So you wasn't just betting like putting it in a pool. You actually was betting. And he said the odds.
The odds were set by this computer program.
Now the house made a cut.
Well, no, we didn't. But they ended up with a few dollars, and it was given to the church.
That's
I understand.
probably the rounding error. You can set it up to do the rounding error. When you got to pay everybody out, you don't come out to a full dollar. It's kind of neat.
Y'all can tell we had a blast over there. Jim's home it's about 100. The home is about 100 years old. It was on his daddy's side. I learned. I had never asked, and I never knew about Jim Lopez's father. I knew his father had died very young.
Right.
He was 34 years old.
Wow.
He was a doctor. He was back into studying to become a specialist, and he contracted tuberculosis and died. Today you don't hardly hear about it at all. Although I think Vicky said that there are some cases that are coming up again, maybe in some other countries.
What you get is someone comes from a country where they don't inoculate them, and they come here, and you get somebody here that ends up
needs another shot or something.
Yeah.
But Jim and Babs, y'all did a beautiful job. Your friends are just wonderful. I wish I'd have had a picture of all of them. But yours truly tried to enjoy himself too. Still no drinking, by the way. They were surprised. They said, you can do all this partying and bring all this wine that you picked up at Tom and Maddie's 6 months.
That's 6, 7, almost 7 months.
Well, no, 6 months. It was on the 2nd was 6 months. I had an anniversary.
There you go. Well, keep it up. You go get your pen.
I'll get a pen.
Get a pen.
I'll get a pen. That's
We
right.
got a couple more sponsors to go. We got Carl's Thrifty Way, all your medicinal needs. Carl's Thrifty Way can help you. It's over the counter, behind the counter, across the counter. They can handle all that. They can compound multiple prescriptions for you to make it easier for you to take. If you got problems opening that bottle, just tell them. They'll do something about getting the bigger bottle, make it easier for you to handle. If you're not in a position where you got children, they can give you a special kind of cap, make it much easier for you to open as well. They do home decorating ideas in there, gifts, gift wrapping, monogramming, all sorts of those oils that you put in those Lamborghini style lamps. You can get all that there as well at Carl's Thrifty Way. And one more, Dixie Storage, all your storage needs, personal and commercial, your RVs, your boats, your little bit of stuff from your house, your books, maybe some furniture for the kids that are going off to college in the fall. You can want to put that in there. If you're a businessman, good place to have a branch offices in their storage. You put some of your parts in there to make it easy for you to pick up, or some of your work crew can go and pick up parts, and it's all secure, highly locked, and all on concrete to keep your feet clean. Don't forget Dixie One Trucking, their sister company, can handle loads for you, finish delivering loads for you. They've also got warehouse space, and their sister company, A Plus Glass, at locations in Lafayette and Opelousas. Do all your glass work, personal, commercial, car, all of it.
3 Opelousas residents will be honored on May 14th. We briefly spoke about it. The 3 people are Greg Bordelon, Derek Matoya, and his beautiful wife, Lana Matoya, who, by the way, comes from Opelousas. Derek comes from the New Orleans area, if I recall correctly. And of course, Greg comes from Avals Parish, Cottonport, if I recall correctly.
Excellent.
And over in Lafayette, 5 were honored by the Acadiana Business Hall of Fame. And the 5, or who are the 5? Chuck Lean, former president, chief operating officer of Stella, accepts the Laureates Award. Let's see here. The Schumacher Group, Kip was honored. Williams Life Insurance was honored as a Small Business of the Year, and Pat Fontenot was the recipient of the award on behalf of Williams Progressive Life Insurance Company. And I'm forgetting somebody here, but it was a beautiful evening, and of course those are very, very prestigious awards. And this being honored by the Boy Scouts of America always touches me, because I was a Boy Scout. And you know, what's the big Boy Scout award?
Eagle Scout.
Eagle Scout.
Not award. You work for that.
Yeah, you awarded it, but
right,
after a lot of achievements.
Oh, yeah.
And they keep a running track record of the Boy Scouts who achieved this, and by and large, they're very, very successful.
Presidents of the United States, even.
Yep. Well, look at Corny, my nephew Corny. Was Eagle Scout, and look at him. I don't know about Bernie, maybe both of them, but I'm almost sure Corny was. And a lot of people in our local area have been. And the horse foam purchase may be completed. That's creating a lot of interest. It looks like the horse foam at
the UL horse foam, right?
About a 100-acre piece of property that the UL is going to sell to the parish government, city parish government, and
they're going to keep it as a green space?
As a green space. Yeah. Wonderful idea. And free ball crawfish, you want some? That's May the 12th at the Cajun Harley Davidson.
Look, Christy Broussard's going to be there. That's one of the ladies from Swamp People.
That's correct. And this is the Cajun Harley Davidson's 33rd anniversary party. So go out and eat some crawfish. Tell Mr. Adam Abad that we sent you. And Cajuns steal the show. Orijon, Brignac, Wallace, and the Lotifs, husband and wife coaching team, take the top Sun Belt honors. How about that?
Well,
they're going to be going to the big game, World Series, and those girls have really done a great job again this year. Each year, this team has really done well.
How about the young man that was at LSUE, Raph Rhymes, is over at LSU playing baseball and is hitting approximately 500?
Yep, he was a little over 500. He might have slipped a little bit.
He was only like 5. He was only 5 of 11.
Yeah, that's right. Kind of hurt him. Kind of hurt him a little bit.
Unreal, but if he can keep that up, he'll smash.
How about the Avengers?
Speaking of smashing records, the Avengers, that's the new superhero movie, $200 million. That beats any other movie by like 40 million. Young, old, men and women, all are going to see it. It's supposed to be very fun.
How you pronounce that boy's name? Kowalski?
Yeah, I guess so. I'll go with that.
Keselowski. And that's NASCAR racing. Talladega. He gets a late push to win at Talladega. And you know who pushed him? Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is the bad boy of the track, but he pushed him, and then he tried to sneak around him, but he couldn't make it, and it's time for us to cut
down to the end.
We're down to the end.
Happy Mother's Day again, everybody.
We want to thank Smiley Anders for the copy of the book that was personally signed by him on a visit to Dan Burkhalter and Linda Burkhalter's home in Sunset, Louisiana.
There you go.
And don't forget the theft. I'm going to come back and get you on this.
ID theft. Mr. Dan Burkhalter does work with the DA's office to help educate people about ID theft. Here in the parish.
And our closing thought and prayer for the week.
Come on.
God of love, you have given me everything, including yourself. I want to give you everything I have. This weekend, as every weekend, please attend the church of your choice. And I thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Tell a friend, tell a neighbor.